Hey, welcome to Let's Talk Guns with Pupwud and Ladies Get Your Gun Firearms Safety Class. Today we're carrying on a conversation with Lona Fore with U.S. Law Shield, and she is the National Operations Manager for the Southeastern District for U.S. Law Shield, and we're going to basically let all of our viewers and followers know exactly what U.S. Law Shield is and what U.S. Law Shield can do for you as a gun owner and potential concealed carry person. So, Lona, I'll basically just ask you a few questions that you can share with our viewers.
Sure.
First of all, just a little bit, what is your background and what led you to join forces with U.S. Law Shield?
As a young girl, I grew up with guns. My father had guns. He was in World War II. He was a B-17 bomber pilot. And flew 28 missions over Germany. And he always was a gun nut. And so as a child, I grew up...
Firearms enthusiast?
Yes, firearms enthusiast, correct. So he collected guns. He always took us out to the range, and we shot guns from a very young age. I think my first time I shot was about 3 years old. And he took us out to the range to show us the destruction. He went to show us what it would do, that it's not a toy, that it is a tool, and that you want to use it to defend yourself, God forbid, and to teach us the safeties behind it. And I was always appreciative that he did that for us, so that I was never afraid of guns. Because I knew what it was. I knew what it was for. And then as I got older, of course, I was very big into sports, and I played softball my whole life. But I always shot as in competitions. I always shot IDPA, USPSA. I shot different things, and because I loved it. I loved it as a sport.
Okay.
Really got into guns. I was more of a tomboy than I was anything else, and so Daddy and I would go out to the range. It was kind of our thing to do. Okay. I'm his only girl, so it was really nice. And as I got older, I got a degree in broadcast journalism. So I kind of went to a different element, different side of the house, but I always loved gun training. So of course got my NRA certification, became an instructor. I've trained thousands of students. It was something very important to me to be able to teach gun safety. Women were my number one clientele, and the reason why I love women is because women, a gun just puts us on an equal playing ground with somebody bigger and badder than you. And so because of that, I always said I want women to be empowered, and that was a very important thing for me. So I loved it. As an instructor, it was very important that I not only taught my students, the basic fundamentals, sight alignment, sight picture, grip, stance, all the things you're supposed to be teaching. But what about after they've had to use force? What kind of instructor am I if I don't teach the full 360?
Okay.
If I don't teach what happens after they've had to use force, then I'm kind of just teaching halfway, and I stop and let my students go. So I said, So I started researching different companies, and U.S. Law Shield was a facility. I was a facility of U.S. Law Shield.
Okay.
Like you, like Pupwud.
Exactly.
So I was a facility where I really wanted to be able to provide this service to my students. And I said, it's that crucial. What goes with a gun? A holster. What goes with a holster? Ammo. What if you have to use that ammo? Guess what? An attorney is attached to that ammo. So it's really important to understand you have to have all your bases covered to be a responsible gun owner.
Gotcha.
So I was so into what they were doing. I watched cases myself with my own eyes. Started in Colorado. I was in Colorado, and then I actually came to work for U.S. Law Shield.
Okay.
Just because I believe in this so much, and I feel that anyone who wants to defend themselves needs to have a program in place.
And that's whether you conceal carry in public or you're simply in your own house and there's an intruder in your home.
We have a legal system. We do not have a justice system. And if people understand the differences, people think we have a justice system, but we don't. Okay. You have to be put through the legal system. So if you're at home, work, grocery store, wherever you're at, and something happens, you need to make sure that you're covered.
Okay. Why is U.S. Law Shield different from some of the other organizations that are offering firearms liability coverage?
That's such a good question. Why? Because we're a membership program, because we have no caps, no limits, no reimbursements, no deductibles. We cover all appeals. All of our attorneys, our independent program attorneys, are vetted to the extreme. These attorneys specialize in criminal defense in the specific states. So, for example, here in Georgia, we have Matt Kilgo. Matt Kilgo is the IPA. He's the independent program attorney. Matt specializes in Georgia law. So it's really important that people understand you don't want your plumber to work on your roof, right? You want the best person to do that.
A specialist.
A specialist.
Okay.
I tell everybody, I get people that say, well, my neighbor's a real estate lawyer. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have my gynecologist work on my heart. I don't think so. You want the best.
Okay.
So that's what it is.
Gotcha. Okay. For our followers that are involved in public safety and law enforcement, is U.S. Law Shield a good program for law enforcement officers?
100%. Police officers have something called the FOP, the Fraternal Order. They also have the PPA, Police Protection Association. There's lots of different programs that they offer police officers,
okay.
Peace officers. What they cover, though, is they cover on the job and in jurisdiction.
Okay.
If you're out of jurisdiction or off the clock, they don't cover you, typically.
Okay.
What also happens is they, 9 times out of 10, look out for the city, the county, and not necessarily the individual.
Okay.
We cover police officers on or off duty. I tell all the police officers I encounter and I meet, don't get rid of what you have, because they have bereavement packages.
Sure.
God forbid something happens, their family is taken care of. They're shot in the line of duty. We don't cover that. What we do cover them is personally.
Okay.
So we cover them individually, on or off the job. So that's what's so important for police officers. We're a supplement.
And ultimately, everybody that owns a firearm or is thinking about owning a firearm or carries a firearm needs to understand, like you so eloquently mentioned earlier, every projectile, every bullet you fire has a lawyer attached to it. And if little Johnny Scumbag breaks into your house and tries to hurt you and you defend yourself, you're still going to get sued. Okay? It's simple, the end. Little Johnny Scumbag's mother loves him, even though he's been a pain in her butt his entire life. You're going to get sued, so you've got to have some of your own protections. It's simply for defending your own life. Okay, next question. What's your favorite gun for everyday carry?
Okay, so this is very, very touchy because I'm married to a gunsmith.
Okay.
So I am a Glock girl. So I own every Glock that is made. I have every Glock there is. So I'm very attached to my 43X. That is just my personal carry. However, 3 years ago when I was at SHOT Show, they debuted the new Sig Sauer 365. When they did, and I watched them put the ammo into that magazine, I thought
just kept going.
I thought I was at a magic show. I literally sat there and went, "Where's that ammo going?" And they just kept putting it in there, and I thought, And then I like the way it feels as I'm carrying it, because I always carry on my persons. And I liked the way it felt, and I thought, So I went from Glock to Sig. I was very scared because my husband loves Sig and I love Glock, so it's been our little thing in our house. But I go back and forth. So between the Sig 365 and the 43X.
Gotcha. Well, one thing that you mentioned two very reputable firearms manufacturers. So you're going to have to do what's right for you within your budget constraints, but you want to purchase a gun that you can depend on when it comes time that you're going to need it. Is there anything else that we need to share with our viewers that relates to U.S. Law Shield or their liability protection or what they can expect?
It's very important. If you use promo code PUPWUD,
Yes.
if you use that promo code upon signing up for Law Shield, lots of things will happen for you. You get the locked-in rate. That's what's important. The rate ever increases, you will not be subjected to that if you put in that promo code. The next thing you get is you also get the 2 free months on an annual. That is huge. They do not offer that at all unless you use their promo code, which is PUPWUD. It's really important to use Pupwud in your promo code because you do get that. I mean, and for the cost, it's $10.95.
Exactly.
I spent that this morning getting my coffee and my croissant. So what I try to explain to people is this is my absolute life. I have a shield over me. You cannot put a price tag on my freedom.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So the website that you need to go to if you're interested in U.S. Law Shield is www.uslawshield.com, and that's all together spelled out, uslawshield.com. And whichever program you decide, make sure you put in promo code Pupwud, PUPWUD, for the additional savings that you get there. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And don't hesitate to go to our website, which is www.pupwud.com. Lona, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hopefully all of our viewers will see the need for additional protection other than just owning a firearm.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And have a great day. Be safe. Shoot straight.